Hey guys, so we harvested a whole bunch of mariachi peppers off the vine, and I had no idea what to do with them, so I decided that I am going to pickle them. And I did some research and I found a way to pickle them without having to use a canning container, I guess you can say, or like those pressure cookers that you have to use for canning and preserving. Well, I don't have one of those, and I didn't really want to go out and buy one just to pickle a few peppers. And pickling is not something that I do on a regular basis. So I found a method to do it without having to do that. So I will be showing you guys how I'm going to be doing that. Stay tuned. Alright guys, so I've placed all the sliced peppers in these pint jars that I got. I got a 12-pack of Bowl canning jars, and you can reuse these for a lot of things, you know, to store a lot of things in. So it was a really good deal, $8 for a 12-pack, so it was good. So I placed them in each jar. Alright, and I forgot to tell you guys in the beginning of the video that I got this idea from a channel called $14, and is a guy named Jason, and he got this idea from an Alton, what is that, the guy from Food Network, Alton Brown, is it? I believe is Alton Brown. I might be wrong, but and he had this video on how to can without a canner or a pressure cooker. So I subscribed to $14 channel, and I happened to come across this video, and I thought it was a great idea to try it out. So I'm going to show you guys here in my stove. I have, let me bring this over so you guys can see a little better. I've already poured this in the pan, but I'll tell you what I have in here. I have 2 cups of apple cider vinegar and 2 cups of water. And to that I added half a cup of sugar, and I added 2 tablespoons and half a teaspoon of salt. Okay, and that's because I wanted a little bit more on the sour side, as opposed to it being like a sweeter type of brine. And to that I've also added some pickling spice. You can find that in the spice section of the supermarket. It's called pickling spice, and it has a mixture of like cloves and allspice, cardamom, bay leaves, chili flakes, mustard seeds, and I believe that's about it. And then I added some extra mustard seeds in there. I added a teaspoon. I'm sorry, for the pickling spice, that was 2 teaspoons. And I added 2 teaspoons of mustard seeds and a teaspoon of celery seeds. Alright, but you can actually adjust your spices to whatever you like your pickles to taste like, okay? I've never done this, so I'm just going to stick with pretty much the recipe, and then from there we'll see what happens, what it tastes like, and if, you know, I want to twitch it a little bit, then I can always experiment some more, because the plant has a lot more where that came from. So alright, so I'm going to make this boil in the stove, and then I'll show you guys what I do with that. Okay, so this is already boiled, and I've already turned it off. So now I'm going to be pouring it into the jars, and then we'll let it come to room temp, and then we'll seal them. Alright, so I'm going to be pouring this into the jar. I've already poured the first one, and you just want to pour it for it to come right up to that rim there. And I hope that the quantity is enough for the amount of pickles that I mean the amount of pepper jars that I have. Okay. Now you can see a lot of my mustard seeds are all in the bottom of the liquid there. Might have been short a little bit there. So, alright, so I already divided all the liquid. This one's just gonna have to stay halfway like that. At least the liquid is covering the peppers. And we'll just have to make sure that we eat that one first. But the smell that it's coming out of these jars, I mean, is incredible. It's like I want to just dip my hand in there and start eating them. It smells really, really good. So, yeah, that's all there is. We're going to let them sit at room temp. Once they do sit at room temp, then we'll take the lid just like you would if you were canning them. You press it down and then you lock them up. Alright, and then you store them in the refrigerator because they're not being boiled or anything. So you can store them in the fridge, and according to Alton Brown, you can keep these in the fridge for about 4 months. He says he's never had them more than 2 months because he goes through them, but he said it could probably be in the fridge for 4 months. But I doubt these will stay in there for 4 months. So yeah, I hope you guys try this out. Bye bye.